Before we begin, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss powerful coin discoveries, forgotten treasures, and rare pieces of history that most collectors overlook until it's too late. Today we're going back to a different era, long before digital payments, long before modern currency designs, and long before the world became fast and paperless. We're stepping into the year 1980, a year when South Africa was producing coins that looked simple to the average eye, but carried the kind of quality, weight, and old-world craftsmanship that serious collectors, especially experienced men between 55 and 65, still appreciate deeply. In the 1980 South African 5-cent coin, the humble little piece that most people tossed around like pocket change, has become one of the most fascinating coins from that period, especially when you understand how rarity, grade, survival, and nostalgia blend together to shape its true collectible value. Think about 1980 for a moment. Life was slower. Technology wasn't controlling every second of the day. You didn't have online banking, smartphones, or card swiping machines everywhere. Cash was king, and every cent mattered. When someone held a 5-cent coin back then, it wasn't just a meaningless piece of metal. It could buy sweets, small snacks, a newspaper, or be saved until it added up to something meaningful. These were the kinds of coins children kept in jars, the coins men used to pay for small, everyday items, the coins that rattled in cars, drawers, and jacket pockets. And because 5-cent coins circulated heavily, they rarely survived in good condition. That's the key that cracks open the door to rarity. The 1985-cent coin was part of a generation of coins made with strong metals and clear engravings. The stylized blue crane bird on the coin was simple but elegant, representing South Africa's wildlife heritage. But here's what most people never noticed. The detail on the feathers, the thickness of the legs, the spacing of the lettering, and even the curve of the branch were all influenced by the minting technology of the late 70s and early 80s. These older machines created tiny variations. And in the coin collecting world, variations are everything. A collector doesn't just see a bird. They see artwork, craftsmanship, and the unique fingerprint of a minting era that no longer exists. But here's the challenge. Small denomination coins like the 5-cent were used constantly. No one protected them. No one saved them in holders or stored them in boxes. Adults spent them without hesitation. Kids tossed them around. And many were exposed to moisture, dirt, heat, and surfaces that scratched and dented them. Because of this, the survival rate of high-grade 1985-cent coins is extremely low. And when a coin becomes difficult to find in near-perfect condition, collectors start hunting. When collectors start hunting, value rises. Now picture this. Millions were minted, but how many remain untouched? Maybe a few hundred, maybe less. Most are worn, dull, and scratched. They've lost their shine, their edges have softened, and their designs have faded after decades of circulation. But the rare few that were somehow preserved, maybe forgotten in a drawer, sealed in an envelope, or kept as a small souvenir, those are the coins that become valuable. Those are the coins collectors line up for. And when you're dealing with collectors who lived through the 70s and 80s, men who remember that era personally, emotional value begins to play just as big a role as physical rarity. For collectors between the ages of 55 and 65, coins like the 1985 cent bring back memories of a different world. They remind them of family shops, old petrol stations, school lunch breaks, and the routines of young adulthood. Coins from this era feel real. They have weight, they have texture, and they carry the spirit of a time when life felt grounded. This emotional pull is powerful. When collectors feel a personal connection to a coin, they don't simply want it, they need it. And when demand grows stronger than supply, value jumps dramatically. Another important element that affects the value of the 1985-cent coin is metal quality. These coins were made during a time when mints around the world still cared about durability. The copper-nickel composition allowed the coin to hold detail sharply. But here's the irony. Although the metal was durable, the coin's small size made it vulnerable. Small coins get scratched faster, they show wear faster, and they are easily damaged. This means finding a 1985-cent coin with clean fields, razor-sharp edges, and clear feather detail is almost impossible. And in coin grading, the word impossible is another word for high value. Now imagine a coin from 1980 that has never been touched by circulation. A coin stored for over 40 years, protected from fingerprints, heat, friction, and the environment. A coin that still reflects light like the day it left the mint. That kind of coin is not just rare, it's exceptional. It becomes a reference specimen, something collectors use to compare every other example. When one coin rises above all others, it becomes legendary. International interest also plays a role. Collectors from outside South Africa, who specialize in world coins or 20th century circulation coins, are paying more attention to African minting history. And coins from the late 70s and early 80s are gaining recognition because they represent a transitional era in global minting standards. Foreign collectors love affordable coins from the past with rare high-grade survivors. And when international demand joins local demand, prices escalate far beyond what anyone expected. Let's not forget something else important: age. Coins over 40 years old begin crossing into vintage territory. And vintage coins, once they pass the 40-year mark, tend to move into a different category of collectability. The longer time passes, the harder it becomes to find quality examples. And the harder they are to find, the more collectors want them. That's how coin values grow, not suddenly, but gradually, until one day the market realizes that the supply has dried up completely. And here's the most exciting part. When collectors finally come across a 1980 South African 5-cent coin that stands far above the rest, a coin with flawless surfaces, shimmering luster, untouched fields, and perfect mint detail, they know they're looking at a treasure. A tiny coin, yes, but a treasure nonetheless. A museum-worthy specimen. The kind of coin that doesn't just sell, but sparks competition. The kind of coin that becomes the centerpiece of a collection. The kind of coin that only one person can own. And for that one extraordinary, top-grade, pristine example of the 1980 South African 5-cent coin, preserved through 4 decades without a single flaw, its value reaches an incredible $4.5 million.